Get that snuck up there. Max, where's the camera? Oh, you don't know? Well, how about you turn around and find the camera? And then we can have Beak Fist. Come on, turn. Up, uppity up. Now, let me help you turn. There you go. There you go. Okay. Nobody seems to be joining us, Max. Can you see us? Hop up in the chat if you can see us. I'm hoping I didn't do something goofy when I started the stream. Oh, there's Carrie. Hey, Carrie. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. I'm just getting... Hey, there's everybody joining us. I see some familiar faces, Max. What are you doing? Oh, well, you want your breakfast, I know. I know you do. My goodness, let's see who's joining us, Max. Let's flip this. Here we go. Carrie, Marco, Sherry. Matt is alive. Oh, Matt's starting us with the pun. I feel I need to let you know I'm going through a lot right now. My doctor's parking lot, the grocery store parking lot, my friend's house lot. I'm just going through a lot. I love your jokes, Matt. Hey, Sylvia, Karen. Oh my goodness, so good to see everybody there in the comments. And I'm just going to hop into chat filter to see. Oh, there we go. Hi. Raising Cane's here, Max. All right. Yeah, Max is sitting here. He seems to think that he wants to face the other way today. He's a little bit grouchy with me. I messed up when I put on his harness. I caught a feather in it, and then we had to take off the feather. We had to take off the harness and put it back on. But, got the harness on. Max tried to lift up a wing to make sure it was settled. It grabbed a feather, and he was most unhappy with the state of affairs. Okay, let's see here if I can get Facebook going. Max, I brought you out some Beak Fist. You want to get started with some Beak Fist? We could get started with Beak Fist. But you know what? We're going to start here. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Oh, you need my arm to turn. There you go. Start with that. Oh, you did not want that? Oh, you know there's something else there, huh? Let's start here. A little... No, you keep facing the same way, honey. Face cams. I do have a cone for those as well. Starting up my old phone, so I've got something for Facebook peoples. Yeah, Facebook doesn't get too busy anyhow, so I'm not too worried about it. It's a YouTube that's sort of our primary channel, but I like to get the stream going on Facebook as well. So Max, can I get this folded in? No, you wait while I fold it. He's watching me make a cone, and he thinks that life is dreadfully unfair. That it's taking far too long to put food in a cone. Okay. Who wants eggies in a cone? Send up some hearts. Eggies in a cone, Max? It's a bird. It's the hungry bird. Do you want eggies in a cone? Oh. Mom, why did you make me wait? That was dreadfully unfair. Dreadfully unfair. I had to wait the whole time until I got my breakfast. Sharon said she had to switch devices. Yeah, I was busy trying to... I set something up as go live with somebody, and I couldn't switch it back, so I had to reset something. Yeah. Kept wanting me to wait for my next person to join me. I mean, go live with people can be fun, but that's not what I was trying to accomplish. Yeah, I've got my cup of coffee here. So life is good. I have coffee, Bird has coffee. No, Bird does not have coffee. Bird has cone. Hi, Suzanne. It's so awesome to see everyone joining us. Hi, Emily. Yeah, I may not see everybody as they join. Hello, hello, hello. Look who's here, Max. It's a friend. It's a friend. Hi, Debbie. How are you? I've got a stream running while Max is eating, but we can talk about general stuff. So, Max, do you see your friend? Do you see Cindy? Let's go see Cindy. I'm going to show you Cindy's here. Yay! There's Cindy. Hello, Sins. This is the best pupper ever. Yeah. Max is isn't this the cutest thing ever? Eggy in a cone.
I love it. I love it.
So.
Maxie, you're so precious.
Oh, he is having.
So smart, Maxie.
He's having his best day ever.
Yes.
So, yeah. It's been warm this week, hasn't it, Max? Max, can I have the cone back? I've got some more to put into it. Thank you. So Max is very good about giving it back because he knows it's going to get a refill.
Oh my goodness, Maxie, what good stuff.
You want the refill? Oh.
What is it you put in?
Just an egg.
Okay.
I cook one egg. I just cook it in the microwave plain. I mix yolk and white together. And they're allowed to have that maybe once a week or so.
Okay.
Max shares the egg with the rest of the flock, so he doesn't even get a whole one.
Yeah, but then it brings in the protein.
Yeah, it's healthy for him. It's one of those really, really good things.
Yeah, it's healthy. Have the right fats, healthy fats and stuff. That's good, Maxie.
And a lot of people don't realize just how healthy something like that is. And they say, well, the bird's eating an egg. And you say, yeah, the bird is eating an egg. But the big thing here is there we go. Got that one finally up and running.
That's good stuff, Maxie.
Here. Yeah,
Cindy
but
gets eggs too.
the which?
Cindy gets eggs too every now and then.
Yeah.
And it's funny if I go to Starbucks, if I'm going somewhere nice early, I grab a bacon burger breakfast sandwich and I'll share it.
Yeah.
And then usually when I do something like that, she also wants a pup cup.
Oh yeah, pup cups. You've never had a pup cup, have you, Max?
Cindy's an older pup. What? She doesn't get them all the time, but once in a while, right?
Yeah.
Pup cup. Yeah.
Yeah, this is fun, isn't it, Max? All the snackers.
Oh, Max, you got good breakfast. Good food.
He's always excited about getting breakfast, though.
And you get to go outside and eat, and it's so nice out.
He was very patient this morning. When I put on his harness, I accidentally caught it underneath a feather.
Oh, no.
Did not notice until the harness was tight and Max tried to lift up a wing, and he said, my wing seems to be pinned and it's pulling my feather. He was so good about letting me take it off and fix it.
Yeah.
I know. I should learn how to put on harnesses, buddy.
Hey, Max.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty happy about being out here
It's a nice day, even though it's warm.
before it gets too hot.
Yeah, exactly. Does you not have air?
No, I open up windows. I've got some fans that sit in windows, and that's the best design I've ever found in my life. And I've got one of the portable air conditioners that vents through a window.
Okay.
But the problem there is if these guys get noisy, I close the window on the main floor, so then I can't have the air conditioning on, right, Max? And it's only one floor. It's a really heavy unit. You know, it works, but I only use it when it gets really, really hot.
I used to have, when I place, I had a sold it to one of my friends. It was an LG. It's a from 2002. I used it made for my townhouse. It's a big Southwest. And it's actually a lot quieter. It's a really good unit. And
Nice.
if you ever have to replace, look into the LG ones. That thing, it's still working for my friend. It's a little workhorse and quiet.
Yeah, the little portables, they're nice because they're built to be sitting inside the house and they're about as loud as a fan.
Yeah.
so they're not making a lot of noise. Some of the outdoor units, like the air conditioner that's over there, with the hailstorm, they actually had to fix some of the panels and whatnot, but panels were vibrating, and that makes them super noisy.
That makes them noisy. Luckily, okay, so mine is sitting like this, and when it's sitting like this, and I have it deck, it blows a little bit hot air, so it makes my deck even hotter for plants and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking about having it turned, right? Get them out at zephyr level and turn it, right? But then when I had that hailstorm, because it was sitting this way, it didn't hit the side where it could damage everything.
Awesome.
It didn't hit in the back as hard as the front, right?
Yeah.
But it was like, okay, we're leaving it because that way it can't get damaged as easy.
Yeah. I've been here, a decade, and I'm thinking, how many more years am I going to be here? Do I invest in AC? Because you don't get your money back out. If you're going to be here another 10 years, then it's $600 a year or whatever it's going to be.
Which is true. Yeah.
But it's
and everything because they gave me money to do because I bought new they took 2,000 off. I was already part of the price. Everything's all plugged in. So I only paid less than $29.
That's doable. That's easy.
Yeah. So, but luckily I bought, and then I got these all plumbed in. So it's easier to plumb right now.
Yeah. Some of the units here are pre-plumbed for it. Some are not. When I bought, I came from a bungalow, and I had lots of trees, and this is before the summer started getting, we'd have 1 or 2 hot days. But the thing with the Calgary weather, folks, and if you're joining us, welcome. Max the Moluccan, we're sitting out on the patio, and Max is enjoying himself, and I'm just chatting with a neighbor and their dog, Cindy. All right. But Bok up in the chat. We've got some lovely people keeping on a bit of a commentary, and I'm going to catch up on comments in a few minutes. Awesome. I always like to sort of welcome the new folks because I know they're sometimes popping in and out. But it's my old house. It was a bungalow, and Calgary never used to have the hot summers like we do. We'd have 1, maybe 2 hot days, but it would cool off at night, and then we'd have some moderate days, then we'd have a couple more hot days. 1 or 2 days, it's not the end of the world. Previous cars, I didn't even have AC. Just cracked windows, you didn't need it.
It's changed.
Oh, it's changed. Now we're getting heat warnings where we're getting a week of hot, and it's not cooling down overnight, so everything keeps getting hotter and hotter. Plus here, I don't have the tree cover, and I'm a multi-story.
Exactly. Same in BC, because my townhouse there when I first moved in 2010, hadn't started to get extremely hot like it is now. And because I faced Southwest, you couldn't have all the windows, and you had this breeze going through it, and you didn't cook. And then when it did get really hot, I had a small air conditioner in the bedroom, and these things got hotter. And now, it's not the
Yeah, no, our climate, it's changing what we're getting. Last winter we didn't see snow until December. It was so bizarre.
The winter before, because it snowed, because I moved up in 2000, no, that's 23. Yeah, it was earlier there, but 2022 it was early. So in the end of October there was a dump, and then I got here, there was another dump. We moved up right after I moved. Towards the end of November, it's crazy.
No.
Yeah.
What do you think, Max? Can I get a Bok Bok Bok? Can we get a Bok Bok Bok?
Can you bark for Cindy?
Do you want to bark for Cindy? Cindy's right there, hon. Do you want to bark for Cindy? It's awesome. But what about a woof 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 for Cindy? Here's Cindy. Do you want a woof for Cindy? There's one. Woof woof.
Woof? Max?
We had one woof. 1/2 a woof.
Okay, well that's good.
That wasn't very good, Max. Max actually barked for Teddy the other day. I was impressed.
Okay.
Awesome. You're just not feeling bilingual this morning, are you? Okay, Max.
Okay.
I know. Well, have yourself a wonderful day, Debbie.
Yeah, have a great long weekend.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, hopefully we'll run into you when we're out walking. Okay, Max. Back onto my knee. Camera's up front, hun. It's awesome. Now watch this. Max is going to bark as soon as Cindy and we walk away. Just going to do a quick flip. There we go. Oops, quick flip. You going to bark now, Max? Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, there goes Cindy. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Carrie. Oh, I know. Max might get into barking in a little bit. Usually what happens is he gets excited when people walk past. One of our neighbors from the next complex over, Debbie, just stopped by with her dog, Cindy. Cindy's the best dog ever. Oh my goodness. Hi, Rogero. Hi, Bird Lover. Oh, I heard from Tango. Tango's probably not going to be able to make it today, but Tango's fine. So, yeah. We are such a nice little community here. Hey, Stumpy. Bird Lover says, hungry. Well, we just had snacks, didn't we, Max? And Max's cup of snacks is empty. I've still got coffee, and I'm drinking out of a Las Vegas mug. Oh my goodness, that coffee's good out of that mug, buddy. I love the big mugs. Oh, Emily's got a joke for us. Emily says, why did the farmer throw his pig in the air? What do you think, Max? Why would the farmer throw his pig in the air? Because his wife said he could get a new tractor when pigs fly. Oh, love jokes like that. When I visit my dad, I love to share them with him. He loves a good dad joke. Awesome. Carrie has... We're so thankful we have so many people watching us regularly. We love it when you like and comment and interact, because that tells us we're doing something right. We had a couple of videos this week that were just super slow, only a couple hundred views. And I want to ask, and I'm hoping you can help me understand, what is going on? Like what about those videos did you not like? They were wide videos. They were about Max cheering on at the baseball game. You know, Max is being enthusiastic and happy. There were Bok Boks. You know, like, did you like those videos? Was there something about them that said, yeah, I'm not going to click on it? Was it a thumbnail? Let me know. Bird Lovers joining us from India. Alberta lost their cat, buddy. Aw. Well, I hope they come back, buddy. Yeah, we had breakfast as we started the stream. Awesome. Okay. I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom here. Max, Raising Cane is asking if I see her comments on Facebook. I'm going to hop over there because I've just done a quick scroll of comments. I may not have acknowledged everyone's name, but I had a ton of comments, and woo! I see Angie. Angie, we were just talking about the weather. Angie's got a fantastic channel over on Facebook, Angie's Weather or Not. Angie, how many more days of hot weather are we going to have? It's getting pretty toasty out here. Hi, Michelle. Isabel says, watching from Canada. Isabel, we're from Canada as well. What? What part of Canada are you from, Isabel? We are Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Isabel, we appreciate you. Elizabeth's joining us from Austria. Hi, Erin. Hi, Dolly. Hi, Helen. Hi, Raising Cane. I see your comments, Raising Cane. Hi, Robin. Oh, my goodness. So many wonderful people joining us. Yeah, let us know where you're joining us from in the comments. Angie says it's going to be warm or hot for most of the week into midweek next week. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's nice to be warm, but there's this thing called too warm. Isabel says, I love Max. It's awesome. You say hello to Isabel? Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Martina's joining us from Germany. Isabel's from Ontario. Raising Cane says she popped in and out to see if that helps. Okay, Max, I'm going to pop the camera over here. We're actually in the shade right now. Do you want to step and I can move the cameras back? Or you want to stay in the shade? Are you happy in the shade? I think Max says he's happy in the shade. Okay, we're going to flip. Stumpy's from Australia, Victoria, Latrobe Valley. Becky's from North Carolina. Dazub says you're a cutie, Max. Kirsten's joining us from Toronto. Oh my goodness, yeah. Toronto's also Canada, but Toronto is Eastern Canada. We're Western Canada. I know a lot of folks join us from Europe, and in Europe, it's easy to drive into 3 or 4 countries a day. Canada, the US, we are really, really big land masses, and it's not quite the same as some of the small countries in Germany, right, Max? You drive for days and days and days to get across the country here. Oh my goodness, yeah. I know, Carrie, you're a true bird lover. Cat Gems from the USA. Suzanne says that was the best video ever with Max at the baseball game. I loved it so much. There we go. We've got one person who just absolutely loves it, so it's a good video. Folks, I need your help with those videos. Go watch them if you missed them. Like and comment on them, and let's see if we can teach the algorithm to show them to more people. Hey, Ashley. Yeah, Sherry says sometimes it's fun to see words that he's talking in the thumbnail. Absolutely. What do you say, bud? Bop. Bop. Yeah. Turbo, no. Max is a family member. He's been living here with me for 21 years, and he is my child. Vicky says, pretty boy. Carrie's from Georgia. Ashley's from Texas, Belton, Texas. Carrie says, in the west coast of the U.S., it takes a few days to get to another state. Not necessarily a few days. I mean, I've gone across the states before. Like some states you can get across in a day, but you're driving from dawn to dusk, and then some. Cheryl's Park says, I used to come to Canada as a kid. Her and her second brother spent school break and summer in Ontario and Montreal. Max is not forklift certified. Suzanne's from Germany. Oh my goodness. Raisin Kane says 2.5 days from Oregon to Illinois. Yeah. Stumpy's from Australia. Oh my goodness. It is kind of... Okay. Am I still live? Please, somebody let me know. I bumped a button when I put something in. Yes. We are sitting here with Max. Yeah. Raisin Cane, Sharon is our moderator, and she's helping keep people in line. We want to be polite. We want to be, we're all here to enjoy the bird. We're all here to have a good time. No spamming, no hate talk. and we avoid topics like politics and religion. With the exception, we'll talk about politics when it directly impacts a bird. So if there's a state that's bringing in some legislation about birds, we're going to talk about that because it is directly bird related. Bop, bop, bop. Or if politics impacts Max's store or something. And it's really, we don't get into partisan politics on the channel, but we talk about how changes in countries and a high level impact things. Last week we talked a bit about our Etsy store and the changes to US tariffs. And it's not just impacting Max's store, it is impacting news articles up here saying over 25 countries are now not able to ship small packages to the US. Anything that could be subject to duty, because the mail services from those countries, they just are not equipped to pre-collect tariffs, and the US Postal Service does not have anything in place to collect tariffs when things arrive. So then you have to send it from another carrier, like maybe a UPS or a DHL or a Purelator, and those can be really, really expensive if you're trying to use them just as an individual or as a really small business. You don't get the discounts on shipping. Yeah, so last weekend was our last weekend until there are changes in the way that the Postal Service can deal with tariffs, or until there's another option to ship that's affordable for anything that's multi-dimensional going to the States. So what's multi-dimensional? Multi-dimensional is anything from our Etsy store, like keychains, pins, necklaces, anything that cannot slide into a greeting card envelope and go through the post. I know some people will say, well, you could put a keychain in a greeting card envelope. Yes, but it does not qualify as letter mail. What I can ship to the US right now are flat items. I can ship single orders of coasters. I can ship what else can I ship, Max? I can ship magnets. I can't ship our talking parrot magnet collection because it's multi-dimensional, but I can ship regular magnets. They're flat. I can ship stickers. And for t-shirts, I've got something figured for shipping direct from the States to the States. Now, what about the rest of the world? I can still ship everywhere to the rest of the world. So I will talk about that just so that people know what's going on. Last weekend, oh my goodness, we were busy getting everything out. The most popular item that we sold last weekend were Little Box of Joy. And those are the mini scrolls. So much fun to make, and we make them right here. And they're just little motivational scrolls. They are oh so much fun, and we've got a lot of those that went out this past weekend. And second most popular was keychains. Absolutely fun. Yeah. And last weekend we just focused on getting everything shipped. We drove things out to the post office to make sure it got out in time. We had one order. We thought we'd set everything correctly on Etsy. A couple of listings did not get caught. We had one order that came in Monday, and I was not set. I wanted to get everything shipped before mail pickup on Monday. Came in Monday. I got it packaged. I took a quick lunch break from work, drove over to the post office, and handed it over. And it actually, I made it there before that post office had their pickup going to the main station. So I was super happy about that. I just took it to our local post office rather than the depot. But it looks like everything, I was checking all of our tracking on everything that went out last weekend, and all the tracking showing that packages have arrived in the U.S. So the first was the cutoff on the tariffs, so we couldn't ship anything that might get caught up in tariffs after the last day of the month, after Sunday. And packages had to have been handed over from our post office to the U.S. post office, is my understanding. So yeah, we wanted to make sure that everything got shipped, everything got into the right hands at the post office, and everything got out for people. We did do a couple of split shipments. We had a couple of T-shirts and that's something that we make when they are ordered, and we've got a couple of those that are going direct from the States to the States. But yeah, we were super, super happy about all those orders, weren't we, Max? And oh, so much fun. Yeah. Oh, we got a question here. I'm just going to scroll to that question. Carrie's asking, how much does a cockatoo cost? Because I want one. Oh my goodness. It costs your sanity. You think I'm joking? They're actually, it's not just a cockatoo and any of the large parrots. And I know I sometimes go on a little bit of a rant about this, but bear with me. They are not something you just go to the store and you buy, like you might go to the store and say buy a coffee cup. You know, your coffee cup, when you get tired of it, you can put it on the shelf. You can give it away. You can sell it. But with a human, with a living being like a large parrot, they're a member of your family. You know, Max, if you watch his videos, and you can see just how much he understands and how much he feels. I like to hearken it to having a toddler for life, right, Max? Are you my lifelong toddler? Yeah, special needs toddler. But he needs a lot of attention. He needs a lot of love. He needs a lot of consistency. One of the videos that we put out this week, we shared a video. We've actually shared a couple of tantrum videos. And I really, really like the one that he threw in the gardens at Silver Springs. I don't know what set him off. He heard something that upset him. And I did not quite catch the beginning of the tantrum, but I got the camera up within seconds of him starting. Oh, you're turning around there, buddy. Getting tangled. I know. Are you looking for sun? You're looking for sun. Let's change the camera angle a bit. But that tantrum, what I really, really love about it is you could see, even if you turn off the sound, you can watch Max's body language and you can say, he's upset. And I mean, you watch the body language, and when I watch that body language, it reminds me so much of a toddler stomping his feet and shouting. I mean, it's just so classic, like angry, angry, angry. And I mean, it did not last long. Like if you watch that video, it's a 3-minute video. You see him throwing his tantrum. You see him getting really upset with the world. And what do? I don't yell back. I don't get upset. I just show Max calm and understanding. And I talk to him and I say, hey buddy, it's okay. It's okay. I'm here and let's figure this out. And I try and understand what's going on with Max. I don't always catch it in the moment. As Max started calming down, you were looking for Apple. Well, you could have told me that with your words, buddy. As he started calming down, do you see people? Yeah, you see people. Awesome. As he started calming down, what I really, really love in that video, because you can see that he gets upset, but he starts to calm down. And how many people have seen a human toddler have a tantrum, and they finish screaming, and then they are cranky, and they're whiny, and they are still upset, but they're not screaming upset. That's what Max was. I mean, he was whining. And I actually made a mistake when I was talking to him. What Max said to me is, I don't want an apple. And I said, oh, you want an apple? And I kept talking to him about he could have one when he got home. He very clearly said to me, if you watch the video, I don't want an apple. And Mama Jer does not always get it right. She sometimes hears something clearer after the fact. But I heard once an apple. I was quite cognizant of the fact we had a lot of people staring at Max like he was an alien just because he was throwing this tantrum in the middle of a park with a lot of people. And I totally missed that. But Max actually, that's not what he wanted. But he said, I don't want an apple. He was very, very plain about that. So I misunderstood him. But that's okay. I mean, we talked it out a little bit. But I just love in the video, you can clearly see how I got it wrong. But Max was a little bit cranky, and then he calmed down pretty quick. And then he was content to go for a walk and look around and hang out. We were super fortunate. That was the day we ran into the baseball game as well. Right, Max? Up, up, up. You want to come up? Up. I'd like you to turn around, honey. Up, up. I'd like to move the chair into the sun. You don't want to move into the sun. Are you comfy there? But yeah, and then a few minutes later, like when we saw that baseball game, yeah, it was maybe 20 minutes later in our walk, you can see Max screaming again. But it's such a different scream, and it's such a contrast. Because there he's just yelling with joy. He's yelling with happiness. And you can see that there are differences. I mean, a bird yelling, it's not just a bird yelling. There's joy and there's upset. I mean, it is just so much like a toddler. And, you know, they have feelings. Max has really big feelings. Don't you, Max? Do you have big feelings? Yeah. He has likes and dislikes, but he's a toddler for life. So, you know, you have to remember that. It's not just getting... What? That was a loud motorcycle, buddy. You know, it's not just getting a bird and saying, okay, I'm bored with you, I'm going to leave you in your cage. Can't do that. You have to give them lots of attention, lots of out time. You have to meet their needs. Not every bird talks. Oh my goodness, more birds don't talk than talk. You see a lot of talking birds on the socials, especially the African greys. Our friend Einstein talks up a storm. Our friend Gizmo talks up a storm. But they don't talk all the time. They've got to be in the mood to talk. You know, Gizmo, when he comes out to an event, he tends to sit and watch quietly because he says, well, what's going on? And, you know, Max is more likely to talk at an event like Parrot Palooza or something than Gizmo, because Gizmo is looking around trying to figure out what's happening. So he might talk a little bit, but he doesn't talk all the time. And birds don't talk on command. It's not like insert coin, get gumball. It's not say, give command, get bird to talk. Oh, heck no. There are some situations where they're more likely to talk, but just like a toddler, you cannot make a toddler talk if the toddler does not want to talk. Do you see a bike? Oh, that was on scooters. Scooters. Did scooters go past? But it's all up to Max, what he wants to do, what he wants to say, how the world is interacting with him that day. And, you know, birds, so, you know, don't get a bird thinking they're cute, they're going to be well-behaved all the time, they're going to talk, they're going to be my best friend. Well, you can make really good friends with them, but it's going to be on their terms. There's no guarantee that your bird's going to be your best friend. Absolutely none. A lot of birds, when they come into a household, they have a preference. My African grey, when I was married, preferred me to my spouse. So Tico, you know, thought my spouse was chopped liver and looked at me and said, you are my person. If I was not home, then would accept scritchies for my spouse. But if I was home, it was all about he wanted to be with me. And birds have the right to choose that. They do. This was not the intent when we got the birds. I also, when I got divorced, I also had a lesser sulfur-crested cockatoo named Thina. Well, Thina thought I was chopped liver and was pretty angry with me that I got divorced. And would have probably preferred to go with my spouse, but ended up staying with me just because that's the way things worked out. Athena passed away a number of years ago, but was never quite happy with me. You know, but each bird has different likes, different dislikes. Isn't that awesome, Max? And you cannot dictate to the bird what they're going to like, what they're going to not like. It's up to the birds. You know, they are living beings. They make a big mess. Oh my goodness, do they ever make a big mess? Did anybody on here catch that short that I posted of me cleaning a air filter? Of giving it a shake out outside. Did anybody catch that short? You know, where I took the air filter outside and I gave the primary filter a shake and it released. And it just looked like it was snowing. Yeah, I'm seeing some people tossing up hearts and emojis. You saw that. I'm intending to make a longer video about how much of a mess birds can make and the importance of air filters. You know, there are good filters and bad filters. I am not going to support any particular brand. What I do have in the house are rabbit air, and the reason for that is I like them. But there's other air filters that are equally good. But the keys, if you have a bird that creates a lot of dander, birds that create a lot of dander, cockatoos, African greys, even cockatiels, they are really known for producing a lot of dander, but every bird creates dander. But it can look like it's snowing in your house. They create a lot of powder. They make a big mess. A good quality air filter is really important. What you want to look for in an air filter if you have birds, look for one that has a cleanable filter. A filter that it has a pre-filter that you can take outside and shake out. It has filters that you can clean and not something where you have to replace the filter every 10 minutes. Because if I had to replace filters every time they got mucked up, I would be spending an absolute fortune on filters. As is, I replace the filters in the rabbit, usually about every year or so. I'll replace the filter set. But the rest of the time, I just shake them out. I blow them out with some air. I clean them. I've got 2 rabbit air filters in the house. And they do a really good job of picking stuff up. But cockatoos create a lot of dander. They do. They make a big mess. It's expensive to feed. Fresh fruit and vegetables, crunchies, good quality crunchies, vet bills, treats, toys, all of that costs money. If you've got a bird and the bird is chewing at a lot of wood and you go, oh my gosh, these wooden toys are lasting me 10 minutes. I buy one, hang it up in the cage and it's gone. I'm going to say to you, go to the hardware store. Depending on your bird, get some wood your bird can chew. Larger birds, if they enjoy chewing on pine, buy untreated pine 2x4. Get it cut up. If you don't want to cut it yourself, you can pay the hardware store usually to do some cuts. And get them to just chop it into a number of slices. It's going to be much cheaper than going to a Parrot store and buying a toy that's colored and everything else. Take that chopped up wood, you can drill a hole in it and attach it to a toy. You can rehang your toys. Or if, like Max and Mango, they like their wood foot help. They want to hold it in their foot and chew on it. So really, really simple. If you've got a smaller bird, it might be that some of the softer woods like balsa might be appropriate. But the key is to look for something that's untreated. You don't want to get anything that's plywood. You want to get untreated pine. And there's some good resources out there that talk about the types of wood. Do you have a tree in your yard? Maybe you've got a crabapple tree. Crabapple is one of the woods that are bird safe. So what you can do if you've got a crabapple tree and it has not been treated with pesticides, you can clean the wood. Now be super, super cautious. Don't just bring the wood in and say, I rinsed it with water, I'm going to hand it to my bird now, because there might be outside birds that have been on that tree. And there might be pests inside the wood. Usually with something like that, what's recommended is there are some good cleaning products that you can use to disinfect. Use one of the disinfectants on the wood. Like wash the wood, disinfect it. I know a lot of people will put that wood in an oven and bake it just to make sure they kill off anything that's alive in the wood. And then they'll chop it up and hand it. And things like crab are much harder wood than a pine. But yeah, it's a great way to reuse some wood. Right, Max? I used to have some crab trees and I would just let the wood dry. And that was fantastic. Yeah, Max. So yeah, there's lots of things you can do to reduce costs, but don't cheap out on toys. You can make a lot of bird toys yourself. You don't have to spend a lot of money. The other tip I give you on bird toys is buy toy parts. One thing that Max absolutely adores, if I go to, and I'm going to name my retailer up here, which is Parrot Trends. They're a local store. They're run by Sandy. She's fantastic for the bird community, so I don't mind shouting her out. She's Canada. She does not ship into the States. She does not ship internationally. She ships Canada. But she's also local to me, and she'll bring things to Parrot Club meetings and whatnot. What I'll do for her is I'll buy things that are toy parts rather than assemble toys. I'll go into her bulk section. I will buy bags of birdie bagels. I will buy bags of mahogany pods. I used to buy big boxes of pine blocks. 65 Canadian would get me a large box of 2 by 4 by half-inch wood blocks. They did have a hole in them. I did not need the hole, but that's the way they came. They were also colored. Max loved chewing on those. Those were a perfect size. Then when Mango joined the household, Mango decided that he likes blocks that are 3 by 3 by 2, and I couldn't get blocks that size, and it would be way too expensive given that he can go through 4 or 5 in a day. So I just started cutting 2 by 4 at that point for the flock. And I said to Max, sorry, buddy, Mango will chew things smaller, and then I've grabbed the smaller blocks and hand them off to Max. So Mango was doing some of the work for me. Mango preferred the bigger blocks. Max is beginning to chew on some of the larger blocks. I might grab another box of those at some point. They're a very nice treat because I don't have to do the cutting, and it's a perfect size for what Max likes. But I don't mind, cutting, it keeps it affordable. But buying toy parts, so much cheaper than buying toys. And what can you do? You can clip them onto a toy. You can refill toys. And that's something people forget. You might have a toy with stainless steel chain that had a whole bunch of stuff on it, and the birds chewed all the stuff off the chain. Well, take that chain, remove the clip from the top, and just slide a bunch of toy parts onto it. A lot of toy parts come with holes in them. Now rehang that in the bird cage. You refilled it, you spent 5 minutes time, you've got a toy. Hanging baffle cages are another way to make an inexpensive toy. Take your baffle cage, which is a stainless steel cage, open up the top, fill it up with toy parts, close the cage, hang it. They're going to chew at the toy parts from the outside of the cage, and getting at the toys is part of it. Put some foraging foods in there as well, maybe some nuts. The birds are going to go nuts trying to get at them. Pun intentional. But yeah, there's affordable ways to make bird toys too. So always great ideas. We do get some toys that are pre-made, and the flock loves playing with them. But we also do a lot of homemade just because of cost. A lot of toy parts. Max loves foot-held toys, right, buddy? Yeah. So I'm going to hop back to comments. I'm going to start with our Facebook friends. Yolanda, Asil. Isabel says she does not see some videos at all. Yeah, it's frustrating the way that some of the algorithms don't show all of the videos to people. And what I can tell you is if you react to videos, when you see a video, watch more of it. Don't just watch 10 seconds of it. Even if you're not super invested in that particular video, if you can give us 30 seconds, that's great. And I mean, it's not that long, right? Most of our videos, the longer ones are 3 minutes long, except for the lives. They're a lot longer. But watch for at least 30 seconds. Like and comment and interact with that video. If that video is playing while you're commenting, you're going to get your 30 seconds. The more you do that, the more Facebook's going to say, hey, you want to see more Max content? I can serve you more Max content. Hey, and I'll show you more stuff like Max as well. If you enjoy Max, help teach the algorithm you like them. And the more people that interact with the video, algorithm's going to say, hey, people like this video, I'm going to show it to more people. So that really helps us out. Well, it's okay, Max. I'm going to flip the camera. I'm going to come back to Facebook or YouTube land. Max, can you turn around again? Up. Okay. Oi. All right, I'm going to sit with you for a minute. Oh, look at you in the sunny shine, honey. Yeah, I found some sunny shine for you. Whoa. Sorry, I decided to move a tripod, and I had an epic fail for Facebook land. Sorry about that, Facebook land. Putting you behind the other phone did not work. All right, on YouTube, Max. Look at that, Max. We got a super. We got a super. What? You know what to do, folks. Super chat from Sylvia. Super sticker from Sylvia. Give her a thumbs up. And throw some love in the comments. Throw up some hearts. Thank you, Sylvia. Yay! Max, can I get a Bok 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 for Sylvia? Bok Bok. Can I get a Bok 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 for Sylvia? Can I get a Bok Bok Bok? No. How about we'll settle for some screams of excitement? I guess we can do that, right? Screams of excitement. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the super. I'm going to get caught up on comments on YouTube. So if I missed a question, feel free to pop it again into the chat because I like to answer questions, but sometimes when I'm chatting, I'm not always looking at the commentary, but I do go back and I read the comments after the fact. Right, Max? I love your comments. Hey, Max. Are you excited? Can I get a Bok Bok Bok? Can I get a Bok Bok Bok? You know what, Max? Can I get a poop? Go poop. Let's move this. Oh, not my hat. Can you go poop, honey? Go poop. Super pooper. Go poops. Thank you. That was a big poop. Good job, buddy. You want to sit on my knee again? Okay, you can sit on my knee again. We're back in the sunshine, and I'm just gonna Facebook land. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna reset your camera a little bit. I didn't have the tripod very tight, did I? And it started sinking. All right, sort of like my work chair. I work from home, and I've got one of those wheeled chairs, and the hydraulics on it are beginning to slowly go. So every so often I have to tell the chair that I'd like to sit in the air rather than on the ground because it starts to sink quite slowly, and before I know it, my keyboard's at nose height. Hi, Marilla. Hi, Cookies. Hi, Randall. Randall says, see, that's Parrot stuff to think about when wanting one. Absolutely. And I always talk about what it's really like because sometimes you see the birds on social media and you think, oh my goodness, I want one. They are so sweet and they behave all the time. Now, have you ever seen a human baby? You see pictures, maybe Anne gets pictures and you go, oh my goodness, how sweet. Look at them sleeping. They, look at them laughing, you see the sweet parts and you say, oh my goodness, I want one. Then you realize it's sleepless nights. You have to save for a college fund. Kids are incredibly expensive. And no, you can't just put them back. They are a huge, huge commitment, but there's a reward to it as well, right? But make sure you go in with your eyes wide open. It's not just what you see on social media. There's a lot to it. Get a Bok Bok from Marco. Do you see people? People jogging. Oh, excited. People are running, buddy. Hello. Thank you. So excited! Yeah, they're running. You want to go, Mom? Can I get a Bok Bok Bok? How about a Bok Bok Bok? Can I get a Bok Bok Bok? Bok. That was exciting, Max. Can I get a Bok? Bok Bok. Can I get a Bok Bok Bok? Okay, you want to step on my knee again. Step. Step, step. Good job. Yeah. Oh, so sweet. Good job. Did we just get a Bok Bok Bok? Oh, Bok Bok Bok. Can you look at me and Bok? You see somebody going past. Bok Bok. Hello. Well, not as exciting as that earlier group of people. Max. I suddenly have feathers in my coffee. So I just dumped my coffee. It's getting cold anyhow, so I just watered the plants with my coffee. Yeah. Yeah, a couple of these plants are not doing too well. I probably have to deadhead that. I think I missed watering that. I actually much prefer the petunias that I've got over here because they deal really well when I forget to water them. Right, Max? Yeah, they do. So good to see you today, Marie. Yeah, yeah. Emily's talking about the guinea pig. For guinea pig, she takes paper towel rolls and puts green mix, carrot, or any fruits they have in it and closes the sides so he knows they're food. Makes little holes, and he loves it. Yeah, I mean, I actually used to do a lot of toilet paper rolls for the birds, but there's two considerations with the toilet paper rolls. They come out of the bathroom. And when you flush your toilet, if you don't have the toilet closed when you flush it, you get a lot of airborne spatter. So there's potential for E. coli, bacteria, and whatnot on the rolls. So be super cautious about something like that. Also be cautious with the types of glues that are used in the paper towel rolls. Birdie bagels are cardboard. They are a compressed cardboard roll, but they are built to be bird safe. And I can't talk to the type of glue and whatever that's used in them, but they are bird safe. And it's like buying toys that are child safe, right? So I love the idea of paper towel rolls, but I'm a little bit cautious with those, particularly because they come out of the bathroom. I'm more likely to use about toilet paper rolls. I'm more likely to use paper towel rolls. They still have the potential for glue, but they're at least out of the kitchen, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's something I didn't think about for the longest time. Oh, glad that I'm giving you some ideas, Carrie. Sharon's having a hard time with the internet. Raising Cane said I was losing connection earlier. It looks like I re-grabbed it, so hopefully it's good now. Deanna asks, was Max the one cockatoo in the funny video where two Moluccans meet? Absolutely. That was actually the first time that he met our friend Q, and we'd met up at a local pet store because we're allowed to go inside there with our pets as long as they're under control. And it just made a really good spot to meet up because actually at the time Max was not doing a lot of outdoors. He was scared of the outdoors. But yeah, we ran into Q and Max and Q. They lost their minds and they got so excited to see another cockatoo. I don't think Max at that point had ever seen another Moluccan cockatoo in his life since he'd been a baby. And I don't know about Q either, but the two of them, they just hit it off and it was excitement city. Max did not get nearly as excited when he met Hitchcock. And you've met some other Moluccans, haven't you, buddy? Yeah, and Corky. Like with Mango, it's funny. Like Max just sort of goes, yeah, okay, you're my brother, and he does not get as excited as he got when he saw Q, but Mango and Max get along super, super well. Yeah, they get along. They're not sharing perches. They both have their own space, and they both respect each other's space. They get, they get momager turns. I spend a lot of, and I sometimes don't have everybody out at the same time when I am doing a live stream because there's an awful lot to keep track of. And on a live stream, I can get distracted by comments or something and miss that somebody's decided to climb on somebody else's cage or something else goes wrong. Usually when I've got them out and interacting, it's when I've got my attention on them and I'm able to react quite quickly if something goes wrong. Right, Betty? Yeah. Oh, does that feel good? Does that feel good, honey? Does that feel good? Yeah. Honey. Hey, Max. What's going on? scritch time. Yeah. You like the sunny shine, don't you, buddy? Oh my goodness. Jocelyn says, I've got a new project going. Embroidery with pieces of fabric sewn in with it. Oh, I've seen some stuff that's patchwork embroidery. That can be gorgeous. Awesome, awesome. Jocelyn's super, super talented, folks. Hi, Ashley. Deanna asks, can Mango talk as well? Mango says a couple of things. He's not super talkative, but he's very good at communicating. He's got his own ways of communicating. Mango says a few things, and the favorite thing that Mango says that he says, I love you. It's just so sweet. It's just an I love you. And he's such a sweetie. Yeah. You can tell that, he's always been surrounded by love. Sometimes he gets a bit excited when he wants something. He can get vocal, but he also has a lot of sweet, sweet sounds too. And the birds, they all love music. When they get loud, I tend to put on music. Sometimes they get loud because they want my undivided attention and I'm trying to cook dinner. That does not work too well, but I'll put on music. I don't do that when I'm streaming, obviously, because I don't want a strike. I'll do that if I'm working upstairs and they get a little bit rambunctious downstairs. I'll make sure they've got what they need for toys. They've got toys, they got snacks, and then I put on some music. They love music. When I was streaming earlier this week, what was that, Thursday night stream? I did a stream while the flock was eating dinner. Throw up some hearts if you saw that stream. We just did it over on YouTube. But yeah, Mango was eating dinner inside the cage. Max was eating outside the cage. It was a late dinner for Mango, and Mango does not do well late evenings, so he'd already had a bunch of attention from me. I'd already spent some time with him, and it was Max time, and I was trying to load and unload the dishwasher at the same time and feed Max and make my own dinner. I absolutely failed at making my own dinner. Yeah. That did not work out too well because I was so busy talking to everybody. But I did get the dishwasher loaded and going. So that was well, I'm sorry. Did anybody just see that? I almost poked Max in the eye. Yeah. Do you see people, buddy? Do you see people? Awesome. Hello. You saw them? You saw a person. Now we got our barks. You could have barked when Cindy was here, honey. You're such a silly goose. You're such a silly goose. Woof, woof, woof. Woof, woof, woof. Woof, woof. Woof, woof. Yeah. But one thing I did... Mango was getting noisy and it was night. Now, what do you do when a bird gets noisy? There's a couple of things you can do. Ignore them is one. And frequently, if they get too noisy, I just leave the room. They're stuck in the cage. It did not get the reward they wanted. If they're trying to yell at me to get me to leave the room, I'm not going to leave the room, but I'll just ignore them while I'm in the room. But sometimes it's just, hey, there's something going on and I want to be part of it and I'm overly excited. And Mango, when I was streaming, Mango got a little bit noisy and Max was starting to get noisy. And I always think about the neighbors. I'm mindful about my neighbors. So what did I do? I looked at Max and I said, okay, buddy, no, we can't have that. No, we're not going to have that. And I grabbed a toy that I've got. I actually bought it thinking that maybe Max could play it. It's a little kalimba, which is a small thumb piano. But the wood of the thumb piano is so thin, Max could break it looking at it cross-eyed. And he wouldn't do it intentionally, but I mean, if he grabs it, it's going to be broken. And figuring out how to play it, he's probably going to break it. So I thought, well, that's not going to work too well. But he loves it when I play it for him. Now, can I play kalimba? No, I cannot. What I can do with it, though, is I can play random notes. And what I refer to it as wind chimes. I just start flicking away at random notes, sometimes patterns of notes. but I'm not going after any particular tune. And Max loves it. Mango loves it. Tico loves it. The Tical loves it. Like the entire flock really, really enjoy listening. And I think it's because it's live music as well. Yeah. What's going on? Well, where do you want to go? Oh, that's one of our neighbors going out, buddy. We're going to keep the camera away from them. Yeah. There you go, buddy. Hello. There you go, Max. Yeah. But we always give our neighbors privacy. Right, Max? It's private. Yeah. Private. Oh, good job, Max. It's awesome. So, Max, go step. Oh, you got loose scales on your foot. Yeah. So, bird feet, they are covered in scales, and as they molt. I mean, their feet molt as well. It's not a problem that there's a little bit flaking off. Max is not very good at preening his own feet, so I tend to preen it for him. So I just come in usually after a bath. But if I notice something on his feet, I tend to sort of give a little bit of a quick scrape. But that's normal. They're constantly growing new scales on their toes. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're just gonna knock off a little bit of dry skin. Yeah, honey. Now Max is saying, well, maybe I could do that too, Mom. Good job. Yeah, Max has never really figured out how to do his own feet. And you need a pedicure today anyhow, don't you? Yeah, why not? Okay. Yeah, Deanna, they do look like they're smiling. You know, Max, like I refer back to that tantrum video this week, the 2-part tantrum where he's happy and where he loses it. I start with the tantrum and then I show happy yells too. But you can see so much in the body language, and it really is so much fun to see. That one I did include a little bit of info about Max, and I reminded people that Max is a rescue. And that, yeah, some of the yelling he learned in his first home. You know, yelling, "Let me out right now." I mean, that's one of his throwbacks to his first home. He says some other things as well that I don't repeat. You notice how I never say it in an angry voice, and there's a number of things he shouts. He also shouts SHUTUP, and some other stuff that I won't repeat. Right, Max? Yeah. But I mean, he tells me what happened in his first home. You know, he tells me. He's just like a recorder. He yells it right at me, and I know that when he's upset, he tells me what, he found it upsetting when these things were yelled at him. And so when he's upset, he yells them. Because that's how angry birds yell, right, Max? Yeah. So, I mean, it's, you really can tell those on the big apple tantrum, the first apple tantrum, the one that's got almost 4 million views on YouTube. You can really hear some of what he yells in that one. And I quit doing subtitles when he started yelling some nasty things, because no, we don't need to propagate that. And I figure if you listen closely, you'll hear it, and if you don't hear it, that's okay too. But yeah, you told me the story, didn't you, Max? But Max, is life good now? Are you in a good place now? Yeah, life's good. You get to sit out on patios. You got friends, you got good snacks. Yeah, Maxie. So after this, Max is probably going to want to take a bit of a nap. And I'm going to see if Mango maybe wants a bath, because it's bath time for Mango. Right, Max? Mango could use a bath. Yeah. Mango's cage needs a good clean, too. He got really upset with me the other day and decided that it was his cage and I was not touching it. And I mean, I respect that. I just got rid of the worst, and I said I can give a better clean later. he gets in moods sometimes where he just says, "You are not cleaning my cage. I don't care." And, I'm not going to fight him for it. As long as there's nothing in it that's going to get sick, a bit of a mess is not a problem. As long as there's no rotting food or too much of a muck. Yeah. That's right, Max. Yeah. Oh, Emily's suggesting maybe a surprise fry. That would be so good. I do have some fries in the freezer. I'll do oven fries for them sometimes. But I think it's going to be too hot to cook those. Yeah. Stephen, that's right. I have a full-time job with the flock, and I have a full-time job at work as well. Hi, River of Dreams. Hi, Maureen. No, Deanna, Mango was not with Max. Mango had a very different path than Max. Mango is 5 years younger than Max, and he was adopted by his Pips and Pops. Really, really nice people. He spent, 25 years with them, and then as they got older, it was time for him to, he's 25. It was time for him to find a new situation. Right, Max? Yeah. And you got a brother. Whether or not you wanted one, huh? You got your brother. You did. But yeah, he's a lovely bird, but he's so totally different from Max. And he's still in contact with his Pips and Pops, which I think is really important. Yeah, Mango really needs a set bedtime. He needs an earlier bedtime than the rest of the flock. He's got a lot of needs that are different than the flock. It's just his expectations, and he's told me what he needs. He's told me what he likes. He's told me what he wants, and that's fine. I'll give him what he needs, likes, and wants. Right, Max? Yes! Yes! And Mango's not particularly enthused about being on the camera at all times. If I'm taping him eating something, he sometimes takes a few bites and looks at me and throws it and glares at me until I put away the camera. Then he goes, retrieves it, and finishes eating. Sometimes he'll turn his back to me if I'm trying to film him on the camera. So I look and I say, okay, buddy, you like a little bit of privacy. So I balance it. I do some short videos, but I don't do as many longer videos. Max, I could have a camera on him all day and he would be happy as a clam. He loves to watch videos of himself. And yes, he does watch his own videos. And sometimes when he's misbehaving, I'll grab a camera and he'll start behaving as soon as there's a camera on him. Right, Max? Yeah. Oh. Yeah. All right, I'm just going to catch up here on comments. I see Nick joined us. Melissa says we love you. Yeah. Deanna's asking, can Max repeat sounds like African Grace? Mango is 26, Max is 31. Yeah. Great question there about can they repeat sounds like African Grays. I'm going to flip the camera, pop it back on Max for a different angle because he had his back to me. What I find with Max, now there's two different ways that birds talk. There are birds that learn sounds and they repeat the sounds because the sounds are fun to make. And they babble, and the sounds don't necessarily connect to something. And then there are birds that learn sounds as language. I like to sort of say the first one is like learning sounds like a song. Fun words to say, fun words that don't necessarily have a connection to meaning and are just shown as, hey, this is kind of fun. Sometimes they're used with meaning, and sometimes it's just, I'm just going to sing out these words because they're fun to sing out. And then there's words that are used with intention. Max tends to use words with intention. A lot of the time when he's talking, he's trying to communicate something. He'll meet somebody and he'll say, hi, Max, because he knows this is what he wants them to say to him. He knows that that's a greeting. He'll use words with intention. He does not know how to tell me something's going wrong And he'll tell me sun lobster. Well, what's a sun lobster? It's me getting a sunburn. My face is turning beet red. I'm a sun lobster. That's a problem for him, and he'll communicate it. He's not wrong. He used the only words that he knew, sun and color of lobster, to communicate it to me. It worked. He makes up some of his own language. He'll complain that the air is wet. He'll use that rather than the word rain. The air is wet, and air is wet means it's either raining or it's about to rain, and he uses it definitely. If he doesn't like something, he'll call it gross. He also uses that word definitely, and I absolutely love it. My African Grey is very similar. If the flock gets noisy, he'll tell them to whisper. Tico occasionally will say hi or hello just as a contact call, and that's sort of his happy sound just to check in with me. But, you know, Tico's got a number of things he'll say. If I'm holding something he wants, he'll look at me and say, I want. If he wants me to come to him, he'll say, come here. And usually it's, come here, come on up. And he'll say he wants me to come pick him up. And he uses those words because he knows those words, those noises have particular meaning. For Tico, the sound of gulp, gulp, gulp for water or dripping water means he'd like some fresh water. So every bird has their own. Tical tends to babble a lot. He'll go into what I call the hello chorus. Hello, 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 hello. And it's just he gets excited. He wants to say hello. He doesn't use his language in the same way that Tico and Max as Tico and Max do. They're a lot more intentional. Mango has not started using language a lot. Like he'll make happy sounds. He'll make some upset sounds. He speaks his own language. He's taught me his language, but he's not using a lot of human language. But he does say, I love you. And it's, you know, when he's happy and I'm expressing love to him, he's expressing that, you know, he's a happy boy. He'll say, I love you. You know, he's comfortable. He's content. He'll say that if he ever takes a phone call from his pips and pops. He's quite often, he'll speak sweetly to them and make sweet noises to them. But yeah, with Max, I'll have conversations. Woo! Oopsies! That was my fault, Max. I shifted my feet and the chair scooted. I'm making a perch for Max on my knee by putting my feet up on a chair. But yeah, so Max uses words a lot more intentionally, and he tries to have conversations. He used to do a lot more babbling. I'd come home and he'd sound like somebody telling me how the day was, but now I work at home. He doesn't talk to me as much because he does not have as much to say to me. But when he meets somebody new, that's when he gets the most talkative because he usually wants to tell them about his world. He sees a dog, he barks for the dog, and I swear he's telling the dog about his day. He'll meet somebody, he'll bark like a dog to say, hey, I met a dog. I think this is an important bit of news. So, yeah, so it's kind of fun just watching language. But they don't, birds don't learn language like a toy that you press record and then press play on. They'll repeat words or sounds that they hear a lot of. And some birds use them as a song, and some birds and they'll mutter. And Tico, when he's learning a word, he'll mutter away at it until he's ready to display it. But once Tico's learned a word, he tends to use it in context, and he reserves his words. He thinks he only has so many words that he's allowed to use, and he only uses a word when he really has something to say. Right, Max? Yeah. You're such a good boy. Yeah, look at your feathers. Such a good boy. Such a good boy. Yeah. Love you, Max. Love you, Max. Love you, buddy. Oh, I know. You get scritchies. You get lovin's and scritchies. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to hang out on YouTube a little bit longer, but the device I'm using for Facebook, I'm beginning to run out of steam on. Cecile, we love you. We're so glad you're here. Yeah, Angie, we're excited to see you at Palooza. We've got stars from Linda. 500 stars from Linda. Thanks, Linda. Throw up some love, some hearts, and some likes, and say thank you to Linda in the comments. Help us say thank you to Linda. Thank you, Linda. You are the absolute best. Oh my goodness, Linda, you are the best. Yeah, we're so glad you made it. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Nazaire. Yeah, I'm going to end the Facebook stream because I'm using my old phone for Facebook and it's giving me a battery warning, so it's going to drop pretty quick here. But I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I appreciate each and every one of you. We're going to stream for a few more minutes on YouTube, but I want to say thank you to our friends in Facebook land. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, Max. There we go. Awesome. Yeah. Do you see a bike going past? Ding, ding. They're ringing the bell on the bike. Ding, ding. Yeah? Okay. I'm going to pick up the phone here. Oh, we've got another bike going past. See another bike? Mom? What do you see, Max? Yeah, it's a little... Look it. Yeah, look it. Yeah, Mango does have a channel on Facebook and Instagram, just for Mango. And one of the reasons why I did that is, it's always good to have a secondary backup channel just in case something happens. You look what happened to Einstein earlier this month, where Einstein lost their socials for a couple of days. So it can be a good idea to have a backup social. But it's also so that there's a one place where Mango's Pips and Pops can find videos about Mango. And it's just sort of a little bit of a well-kept secret, but it's there. Yeah. Yeah. Up, Max? Up? How do you know if you see a Mango video on Max's YouTube? Usually I will say it in the description. If it's a short, go poops. Well, big poopers, bud. Good job. If it's a short video, which is one of the short forms, I will do a comment in there. I'll do a hashtag that says it's a short. Hi, Howard. Yeah, there goes Howard and his pupper. Is it awesome? Yeah, Max, it's awesome. Yeah, we'll chat with him when he comes back. My goodness, Max, you're such a good boy. Yeah, do you see a dog? Are you going to bark? You going to bark? Teddy? Oh, you're being cute now, Max. So cute. Yeah. Good job, Max. Good job. Yeah, Max. What a good boy. Yeah, we're almost done the streamy too, aren't we? Good job. Good job. Good job. Yeah, Randall said something about Mango. Mango shows the nervous energy that cockatoos sometimes have. Absolutely. Mango is super high energy. He does not sit still. Max is quite happy to sit. Yeah, you notice how he's been sitting on my knee and my arm for over an hour and a half now? He's just hanging out. He's chilling. He's relaxed. He's a happy boy. Yeah. He does not mind at all. He's a happy boy. He's comfortable. Mango stays on you for about 2.5 seconds and then bounces off. Mango got quite upset with me when he first came because I sometimes put my thumb on a toe when I'm walking just to sort of say, hey, stay with me. because Mango wanted to run. Mango did not appreciate that. Mango said Mango needs to be free. Mango needs to run wild. And he's super high energy. He really, really is. It's fun to watch, but such a different boy to Max. Yeah. Emily, Max learned to say the word gross from me. What happened is I was looking out the window at some snow, and I said, what do you think of the snow? And he looks at it and he says, that's gross. And I looked at him and I said, A, you're not wrong, but B, where did you figure that word out? In my life, I've never called snow gross. And I started thinking, maybe I've said it's gross outside. But what it was, if Max drops something on the floor and tries to pick it up, maybe some food or some food that's been sitting for a while, and I go to remove it from the bottom of his cage, he'll want it back because it's like, Mom, I was not done with that. There's still banana there. It's like, well, it's turning brown and it's been there for a while. No, it's gross. You can't have it. Yeah, so he's figured out that it's a word for something that no like. So yeah. Deanna, Max learned the sound to Bok. It's a fun sound, and it sort of seems to be a sound that they learn easily. I know quite a few people have taught the birds how to Bok after watching Max Bok, but Max is the original cluckatoo. Max, can I get a Bok Bok Bok? We had one earlier. Well, we're going to sit with Fluff and Chops up, so we're relaxed. Relaxed and happy. Raising Cain says, if Cain does not know a word for something, he calls it water. I love that. I love that. It's like, hey, that thingy over there. Whatchamacallit? The water. Yeah, Max, his default for food is apple. Apple's used for apple. It's also used for food. Apple is something we eat. Apple's also apple. So it's got multiple terms. And so he uses it both as a generic term. So like, I want a sandwich, or I want, being, hey, I want lunch, versus I want a sandwich, where you might want, you want a specific kind of sandwich. That's the way that Max uses the word apple. It's a generic term for food, but it's also a term for an apple. Yeah. Hi, Ezel. Sharon says that one cop he was talking to was kind of cute. Absolutely. He loves guys in uniforms. And that was not always the case. Melissa says you're amazing, Max. Carrie says you're a joy to watch. Yeah. It's a love fest. Oh my goodness. I'm blushing. Okay, I'm bouncing to the bottom of the comments. Cheryl's Park is back. Yeah. Max is a Moluccan cockatoo, which is a type of cockatoo. And the other name for Moluccan cockatoo is salmon crested. And that's because, Max, can I get you to turn around for a minute? What's over here? Turn. Can I show people your crest? Yeah, there we go. Oh, there we go. See that burst of salmon underneath there? Brilliant orange. Yeah, that's the salmon crest. When Max gets excited, he'll lift up his crest. I mean, it's very expressive. But they're also known as a salmon crested. As the sulfur crested have a very different type of crest. But Max is a salmon crested. Yeah, but Moluccan is the most common name that I've heard for them. Some people call it Moluccan. I've always called it Moluccan. I've never been told I'm wrong. And it might be a regional thing, potato, but Moluccan cockatoo. Right, Max? Are you a Moluccan cockatoo? I know you'd come from the Maluku Islands in Indonesia. So maybe it is supposed to be Moluccan. But yeah, you're a Moluccan, buddy. Yeah. And Moluccans are the loudest of the parrot species, which always amazes me when I look at the comparison. When you look at scientific studies of how loud parrots can scream, the Moluccans can outscream all of the other parrots out there. Oh, the wind just come up. That wind feels good though, doesn't it, buddy? But Moluccans can be very, Very loud. They can outscream a 747 jet on takeoff. And Max has proven this, yelling into my ear before. But yeah, he can be loud. Very loud, eh, bud? Yeah. I love you, honey. Oh, and there go a whole bunch of cyclists. Do you see the cyclists on the other side of the road, Max? Can I get a Bok 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 for them? It's a parade. Look at that. Isn't that fun? Yeah, we need to have fun and we need to see the cyclists, don't we, Max? Yeah, we do. We do. You're such a good boy, Max. Hi. Yeah, but the Moluccans are one of the noisiest. They're also they're one of the larger cockatoo species. Things like the black palm are some of the black cockatoos are also really, really large. Max is unusually large though for a Moluccan cockatoo. Moluccan cockatoos, a lot of places say 800 grams to 1 kilogram. Other places say 800 grams to 1.2 kilograms. Max missed that memo entirely. He does not pay any attention to that. 1.5 kilograms, folks. He is a really, really big boy. He's a tall boy. Mango is a large Moluccan at 1.2 kilograms. Max is supersized. Yeah. Deanna says she calls it Moluccan or Moluccan. Yeah, I say Moluccan. Oh, much larger than the sulfur crested. Small Moluccans are the size of a large sulfur crested, but the larger Moluccans are in a class of their own. We occasionally will post a video of Max with some macaws, what people traditionally think of as a parrot species. And the macaws, so a blue and gold or a red and green. There's a few of them in the local parrot club. And Max will see them sometimes. And when you see Max beside them, people say, well, no, it's perspective. No. Max is bigger than these boys. Their tail is longer because the tail feather of a macaw is very, very long. Excited bird. But the overall physical size of Max is large. He's physically as large as a hyacinth macaw, which are the blue and yellow ones. That's the physical size of Max. And the hyacinth are much larger than the traditional blue and gold or red and green. And we think of those as large birds. But yeah, Max is really big. And you really get a feel for how big he is when you see him standing with me, as you see in some videos. Right, Max? Yeah, they're doing some sighting over there, honey. Are you having a good day, Max? Did you have a good day? Bok. Bok Bok. Are you having a good day, buddy? Yeah, you are. All right. Yeah, those are the happy screams from the baseball game. Absolutely. Hi, Grace. Raisin Kane says, Wendell got weighed this week, 800 grams. Yeah. So a Moluccan, as I said, typically they're thought the largest ones are 1.2 kilograms. But Max is 1.5 kilograms. He's not fat. He's not overweight. He's very, very tall. And he has a huge wingspan. And he has huge feet. You want to know how big his feet are compared to my finger? I mean, there's my hand right there. Max's toes are the length of my finger. Yeah. Yeah, I don't bother with manicures, folks, because I'm always cleaning bird cages. And it just does not last. It does not work with the birds. Yeah. But yeah, so you can see just how big those toes are. And that's only one toe, and there's another toe behind that. So yeah. I mean, his foot is, it's almost the size of my hand. I mean, it's huge. And you don't realize how big Max is until you get up close. I'll tell one more story of something that happened on the weekend that was kind of fun. Yes, Deanna, that's right. Stereotypical pirate parrots. Yeah. Um, when we were out walking at Silver Springs Botanical Gardens, we were joined by a friend of ours, Kay. He often watches Max videos. He's a good friend of ours. We jokingly call him Max's Uncle Kay, right? Yeah. And he's he's beginning to become a bit of a bird person just from hanging out with Max. Um, see him occasionally. We'll go walking. Max usually comes along. And first time Kay held Max, Max climbed on the arm, looked at him, and said, "Oh, how about I climb up?" I climbed up the arm and decided to sit on the shoulder, and was busy sort of saying maybe I could perch on your head too. And I had to explain that, okay, there's actually a way that you hold a bird that does not encourage them to go up to the shoulder. My friend was trying to keep a flat arm and inadvertently encouraged Max to climb up. Kay's a little bit taller than me, so I was trying to pick Max up, and Max was not going to step down. And Max was quite happy. He got away with the shoulder, and so I'm trying to get Max to come up. Max is refusing. And so I looked at Kay and I said, "Bend your knees." And he just looked at me, and I asked again. And I'm getting to the point, it's like, do I need to kick out your knees to get you to bend your knees? Like, I need you shorter. Either that or I need to find something to climb up on. And he thought I was talking to the bird. No, I was talking to him. So once squatted down, then Max climbed off a little bit reluctantly because he'd gotten away with the shoulder. And Max is a huge bird for a shoulder. Max is not a shoulder bird, folks. Mango will sit on a shoulder, but Max is not allowed shoulders. Yeah. I know we got different rules, buddy. Yeah, Max has never been allowed shoulders. So yeah, no shoulders for Max. He gets arms. That's okay. I mean, he's comfortable with arms. So we were out walking with Kay on the weekend, and Max actually sat and walked with him for a while and behaved himself. But when it came time for Max to come back to my arm, Max decided he was quite comfortable with his new heated perch. This guy's kind of cool. I'm going to stay here. And trying to get Max to step up was kind of fun. So eventually I said, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to make your arm a little bit less enticing to Max and my arm a little bit more enticing, because Max was being impolite. Max needs to learn that the rules, we haven't been socializing as much with COVID, but the rules still apply. When I ask you to step off of a stranger, you need to step onto me. So I said, when I ask him to come up, I'm going to get you to roll your arm forward like this, and I demonstrated. So I demonstrated, and what I forgot to say in words, I forgot to say gently or slowly. So it's like, come on up, Max, and suddenly the arm rolled, and the arm rolled quite quickly, and Max ended up sort of doing this wild grab for my arm, sort of going, what the heck? I was in front of him, so... yeah, if Max would have gotten upset, I would have been the one getting bit. But Max kind of jumped onto my arm, and he was not too happy. Now, Kay is a little bit shy. I think I've got enough of that video. I can post it with somebody blocked out and just sort of shift it. If you want me to post that video, I want you to throw up some hearts and some stars. Throw up some hearts and some stars. Yeah. So that, it was a little bit of an oopsies. One last question for the day. Sharon asks, would Max sit on the handlebars if he rode a bike? Probably, and he'd probably be quite happy about it. Well, folks, I'm going to end the stream. I want to say bok bok to everybody, and thank you for joining us. Have a great Saturday.